I've dedicated an email specifically for communications with survivors of organized stalking and harassment, survivors of do weapon attacks. So I'm going to share that with you guys. So this is the email that I created, gh88tm@yahoo.com. There's no meaning to this. This is just something random that I picked. Just tried to make it simple. I try to be mindful of what other people go through, other survivors go through of organized stalking and harassment, because sometimes you can pick certain words or say certain phrases and it can trigger a person. So I always do my best to try to be mindful because I know what it's like to be triggered. I know what it's like to have people give subliminal messaging so as to communicate some sort of pending danger or threat that is to come upon you. So I always try to be mindful of that. But anyways, this is also going to be in the description to make it easier to like copy and paste. So if you're trying to compose a message to send to me, you just simply copy and paste it in your in the who you're sending the email to line or whatever it's called. Something else I wanted to mention real quick. It's not going to be a long video, but be careful of these. Like I said, those of us that have gone through this for years, you know about fake targeted individuals or fake survivors of organized stalking and harassment. I'm trying my best to make my transition from saying targeted into survivor because I think that's more appropriate. Um, but you got people that will come on your channel and they will watch your videos, right? And they'll leave a comment, okay? It might be somebody that you've never seen before, you've never heard of this person before, and being the people that we are, I know me personally, I'm a highly inquisitive person. I ask lots of questions, I look into things, I research. So if someone comes on my channel that I've never seen before and they're making a comment, I'm very inclined to go ahead and pick on that thumbnail to see what's going on. And there have been many cases where I have, and this is a really bad example. I didn't really prepare for this video to pick out which videos where this has occurred. I'm sorry. This is just something that came to mind. But again, they'll come on your channel, they'll watch a video, they'll come down to the comment section, they'll post a comment. Naturally, you want to find out who they are, especially if you've not seen them comment before. You click on the thumbnail, and they may not have any videos of their experiences with harassment, but what you'll find is sometimes they'll have playlists. And when you click on their playlist out of curiosity, okay, what kind of stuff is this person watching? Do they have videos of other targeted individuals saved to the playlist? And what you'll find is that they don't have videos of other targeted individuals in their playlist of anyone that's being stalked and harassed or attacked with dew weapons. You'll find videos that are very prevalent to something that you've dealt with that was very traumatic, and or they will use it as a means to relay a message to instill fear in you of some pending danger, or they'll use it as a means to communicate to you that they have done something either to you, maybe a loved one, or your property. And this is what I have experienced with a lot of these people that come on and post comments. They won't have anything talking about targeting, which is odd to me because if you're going through this, at least have a testimony video up of what you've dealt with, maybe some examples of the harassment. I think it's just so appropriate to do that, right? Because that's how you can connect with people on that level to know that they are actually going through this stuff. Now, granted, you got some people that will post videos of targeting, and it could be a whole situation where the person posting the video that's claiming to be targeted is a perp, and they are working in harmony or in symphony with other perps that are acting as gang stalkers, right? Just so they can create content and come on YouTube and act like they're going through it when really they're all working together. They're just putting together something to give the illusion that they're really being harassed. I do believe that there are people out there that have content like that. But like I said, these people, they will use that type of a means of coming on your channel, posting a comment, and trying to lure you to click on their channel so you can see the videos or playlists that they have. And what you'll find is that it'll be something that you went through or are currently going through, and they're trying to poke at you about it. They're trying to um, elicit some sort of emotional response or trigger some sort of feeling in you. Now, as you know, these people have the ability to monitor uh, our vitals. They know like if our heart rate is up. They know if we're breathing hard. So whenever they do stuff like that, I'm pretty sure that whatever means that they're using to monitor our what is it called, the EKG, our vitals, and all this type of thing, they look on their terminal and they can confirm or verify, okay, whatever I posted there did cause some sort of emotional response, and then they'll use that as data to further study you or experiment or put more stimuli to try to elicit more responses. So it's some very sick evil. It's so much deeper than just being surveilled and stalked. There's so many other elements. You got people that get attacked with dew weapons, microwave energy weapons. I get attacked with that. They attack me mainly at night to try to keep me from going to sleep. They heat my body up. I think I posted videos of a EMF reader that I use to measure the amount of EMF radiation that was being emitted on me as I'm trying to go to sleep. But anyways, just be very careful and mindful of that. You know, you got people on here that are, they are part of the MK Ultra program. These what do you call these people? These cognitive researchers, these people that research um, your physiology, your psychology and stuff like that. So they will do stupid shit like that to try to see what kind of result they get from exposing you to that stimuli or what have you. That's all I got for now. The main purpose of this video again was just to give people a means of contacting me. There have been people that I have tried to reach out to. I've offered my email address to. YouTube is on a whole nother level now. It's like they're cutting off my comment section. I know in some of my videos I do use profanities, but what you have to understand is my channel is not set to cater to children. Okay, my channel is not set to cater to children, so I don't know why, for the life of me, my comment section would be turned off other than me using profanities. And profanities is supposed to be protected by the First Amendment. So clearly, these social media platforms have been infiltrated by these intelligence agencies who are in turn corrupt and they don't follow the laws of the Constitution. It's like you can't go online, you can't say whatever you want to say and speak your own mind. Um, these people are trying to find ways to basically silence you. And I know that using profanities is not best. It's not a good thing. Having a potty mouth or what. But if you watch my older channels when I first started making videos, I never used any cuss words. The only reason why I started using profanities is because I am exercising my First Amendment right to the fullest, and everybody must be able to exercise their First Amendment right to the fullest because they have pretty much taken it away from us. I mean, there's a lot of places you can't go. You can't really say what you want to say because they will get the police involved and get you arrested. That's how bad it is now. I was a victim of that. So I know how that is. So you have to fight against it. You have to be able to speak your mind to the fullest, even if it includes having to use profanities. And I'm trying to find, let's see. Okay, so for example, what I was talking about earlier, going to the content for children, clearly I have it marked. No, it's not made for kids. Okay. So if it's not made for kids, and even if I'm using profanities, why why is my comment section turned off? It makes no sense. Why is my comment section turned off? Now, this particular video, I think I was exposing some people that at some of these Airbnbs that I was staying at. Something to the effect of these people knew my name, my YouTube name, Ochu. I'd never given these people my name. Even on my Airbnb account, I don't use the name Ochu, I use my real name. So I think this was one of those videos where maybe somebody contacted YouTube like, oh, he's lying or he's slandering, and they do their thing, and instead of taking the video down, like, well, we'll cut off the comment section. But anyways, whatever. All right, the main purpose of the video again, this is my email address. I've created this as a new email address. I've updated it on the about section of my YouTube channel as well. So, one second. And I'm also going to put it in the description section also. Is it right here? Yeah, so this is it right here. If you want to go copy and paste it, compose a message and just simply paste it to the send to line, you can certainly do that. If you just need someone to talk to, if you're on the verge of committing suicide, if you're on the verge of snapping, please send me a message. I don't mind having conversation. I don't mind uplifting people's spirits, because I know what it's like to go through this stuff and always know that there's always someone out there that is willing to talk to you that is going through the same thing, if not worse. And I think it's important for us to be able to connect and to have dialogue and come up with solutions and ways, even if that involves team. And I am very serious about teaming up. It is no joke. I would not be a financial burden on anyone. If you have land or something to that effect, maybe an extra room, I can definitely rent, I can pay. Hell, that's what I'm doing right now. I move from spot to spot. I've been doing Airbnbs. The place that I'm currently at right now, I have been at for almost a year. This is the longest that I've stayed in one spot in a while. Okay. So I would not be a financial burden on anyone. I am seriously just trying to be around people that are of the same tribe as me, people that are are definitely going through this and are trying to find ways to combat this because as I said in previous videos, you can only be a lone wolf for so long and ultimately they will hone in on you, okay? They will close you in and take you out. There are plenty of people on YouTube that I used to watch way back in the day, like 2015, 2016. People that were consistently putting videos out that I knew were legitimately being targeted based off of what they were putting out and showcasing the harassment and articulating what was happening. And these people are nowhere to be found. And it's like, what happened to them? I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be in a position where I continuously stay in isolation and then these people figure that, oh, this person doesn't have anybody, so it's easier to move in on him or her and get them out the picture. Okay. So I'm trying to reach out and just trying to figure out some solutions. Obviously, as I made the previous video that I posted, there's no help with government. And I always knew that even before I started posting stuff about FISA 702 and what's going on in politics. I knew that already. I felt obligated to post it for other people to see that the government does not give a shit about us and they're not going to help. Your local law enforcement is not going to help. The intelligence agencies are not going to help. So we have to take it upon ourselves now to come together to provide protection, to provide a means to look out for one another. Because when you go through this stuff and you live in these neighborhoods, okay, everybody is set against you. Everybody is contacted. Maybe not every single. You might have some neighbors that don't even want to be involved, but you would never know it because it's like there's so much animosity towards you. It's like if you really don't have the eyes to see, you'll think that it's everybody, but it's really just certain ones, and they take turns doing it. They take turns with the harassment, and that way they can use the defense of plausible deniability. Oh, you complain to the cops. Everybody's fucking with you. It's every single person. That kind of makes you look crazy, right? Like, oh, they're just picking on you. Why would they want to pick on you? Trying to gaslight you and play these stupid games, but they know what's going on. But that's the kind of shit that they'll use to try to paint you as being insane. We need to come together, come up with a way to provide protections for one another. So that when these people try to orchestrate shit against us, we have the means and we have the numbers to combat that. This is why they want us isolated. This is why they don't want us to have friends or to talk to people or for us to be in silence so that we don't have any backup. I can't tell you how many times I've had police encounters and people have come against me and lied and slandered, and I ended up going to jail over nothing. Resisting an officer without violence? without violence, why does a charge even like that exist? That's the best they could come up with because all the other times when I was packing firearms and they tried to put me in situations for me to pull out my firearm and I never did because I'm not stupid, okay? The best thing that they could come up with was, oh, let's get him with resisting an officer without violence. That way we can get him in our jails and we can experiment on him further. We can further harass him. There's nowhere to run and he's just going to have to take it. Was jailed for over 30 fucking days, and the amount of torture that I had to endure when I was in that fucking facility, my God. I even have some of these people that will say in directed conversation, it's a wonder that he hasn't killed anyone yet. That's how bad the harassment is. If you got your stalkers and perpetrators doing directed conversation, saying things like, it's a wonder he hasn't killed anyone yet, that is a true testimony. That is a true testament to the strength of that targeted individual, the strength of a survivor of this organized stalking and harassment. These assholes, these degenerates wouldn't last a quarter of a year. And I have to give it that long because in order for you to experience the full ramifications of what we go through, you can't really experience it in a week or a month. I say a quarter of a year is a good enough time to experience what it's like to really go through this program, for you to really see for yourself. These people wouldn't last a quarter of a year in my world. They would have been killed themselves or killed some people or ended up in mental facilities or locked up in prison. So it's time to have our backup. It's time for us to have a means of just coming together and just trying to figure something out. Again, I wouldn't be a financial burden on anybody. I have my own job. It's remote work. Okay, so I have the ability to move around. I don't have to stay in one spot. And that's been the beauty of it on my end. Okay. I've been able to keep this job for over 2 years and it's worked out great. I do everything that I'm supposed to do. I don't give any reason for anyone to try to like fire me because I work every day. I work hard and I do exactly what it is I'm supposed to do. I am focused on that because I know that I need the income to take care of myself and I don't want to give anybody a reason to try to like get rid of me over nothing, you know. And the fact that I've worked this job for that long, um, it that's a good sign, you know. There are not too many TIs that can even keep jobs. And I think with me what it is I don't care about money. See that this matrix is weird. It's very odd and it's crazy. It doesn't make any sense, but it's like whatever your heart's desire is, that's what they keep away from you. That's what they don't want you to have because if you can fulfill what your heart's desire is, um, that essentially is something that will raise your vibration, right? To me, money is nothing. I am poor. I don't make a lot of money. Okay, I'm being honest with you. I make just enough to take care of myself, take care of my bills, have enough to pay for a roof over my head, maybe have a little bit left over if I'm not using it to like fix my car up or something like that. But I mainly like to help people. If I have reserves and I know that there's someone that needs help financially, I'm the type of person like I like to come in at the buzzer to help that person. Okay? So they know with me I don't care about money. So when you don't care about money, it's like the matrix will come up with a way for you to have money, but it won't allow you to get rich. It won't allow you to go, it only allows you to make so much money and go so far. So that is my situation. I know there are people that are like, well, how is this person able to keep a job? There's a lot of TIs that can't get work and stuff like that. I guess a lot of it is it might depend on where your heart is. If they know that you care about a certain thing, they're going to keep that from you. Me, I truly don't care about money. So they allow me to make a little bit of money. My true desire is connection with people. My true desire is to have meaningful relationships, to have relationships with people that are so great to where you have loyalty. God, I can't even get my words together. I can't even they're using their technology right now to try to like make what I'm saying incoherent, but let me slow down a little bit. Give me a second. What I cherish more in this world is having connections with people that are of the same tribe. Okay? I cherish loyalty. I cherish people um, that are strong-minded, and these are the types of people they like to keep away from me. You know, if I had to choose between money and having a connection, a good connection with people, and dealing with people that are loyal just like me, I would totally pick that over money. That's how much I don't care about it. So I say all this to say we've got to put all the ego aside. You know, I've put my information out there to be reached out to. I've tried to ask for other people's emails addresses as well so I could reach out to them. I don't have an ego. I don't mind asking for someone's contact information to reach out to them, but being on YouTube and dealing with some of these people and communicating with some of these people, it's like there's this ego, you know, uh, like people don't want to contact you, or I don't know. It's just weird. But I put myself out there. I've created an email address dedicated to solely for communication with survivors of organized stalking and harassment, targeted individuals, whatever you want to call it. So it's there. Um, it's just time. It's long overdue. You know, these devils get together and they can have their people come against us in huge numbers, but yet the targeted individual is always left on their own. And you know, we've got to come out of that shell and try to have a system going to combat this thing because no one else is going to help us. No one's going to come out the sky to save you. You can sit up there and you can sit up there and believe that, okay? And you will live out the rest of your life until the day that you die. Nothing ever came, just like the others before us that believed, oh, there's someone's going to come out the sky and do this and do that. And these people lived out their lives and ain't a damn thing happened. That's the same illusion that these people want us to believe to keep us passive about what's going on, to keep us not fighting. We're supposed to be fighting this shit. We're not supposed to be just sitting on our asses waiting for someone to help. Clearly, government's not going to help. There are a lot of us that sat on our asses waiting for the FISA 702 to end. Do you not see the trend of what they're doing? There's not going to be an end to it. These people are going to come up with their crafty ways of continuing this bullshit. And as you see, there's already conflict between Israel and Iran. This stuff still has to go through the Senate. Even though they've reauthorized it, the final step is the Senate now has to completely put it through. So there's still a possibility it won't go through, but if you've been paying attention to the news and politics surrounding the FISA 702, whenever it gets to the point to where they're deciding on whether to just sunset it and let it go or reauthorize it, something always happens. The intelligence agencies are the ones that are the terrorists. They're the ones that create all these chaotic events to instill fear. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson was put into a skiff by the intelligence agencies and invoked fear in him to go ahead and renew the FISA. You know why? Because he didn't want that burden placed on his head in case something happens and a bunch of American people die or a bunch of just civilians die. Okay? None of them want that burden, so they go along with it so that they can be safe. But Satan has a way of tricking you. It's all about trickery. You have to stand in your power and not let these people instill fear in you, okay, over something that is not real. Because that's what Satan does. He creates the illusion, he creates the fear to deter you from standing in your power and standing in truth. And when you go along with what Satan is trying to do, you're just showing that you're weak. You're showing that you have no soul. You're showing that you have no integrity. You know, maybe there are good people in Congress and in government that are trying to help, but they're allowing these intelligence agencies to, I mean, it's a lot to bear. It's a big burden, right? You have the main decision to, or the authority to continue a program that is supposed to be geared towards protecting people, right? Protecting people against terroristic attacks and things of that nature. But the same program is also being used to violate people's rights, constitutional rights, right to privacy, right to due process. You're supposed to get a warrant. You know, a person's supposed to know what they're being accused of instead of secretly persecuting them and they don't know what the hell's going on. These are the things that are trying to be shed to light. But anyways, I don't know. I digress. That's all I got to say. Like I said, I've created this email. Reach out to me. You know, whatever you want to talk about, you know, that's relevant to what we deal with. I'm totally down with that. Just reach out. That's all I got to say. Thanks for listening.